All right, I am back. We are live, and I'm here today to talk about the Crew Motorfest, all the good, the bad, everything else in between that. I know it's been a while. I should have done this video like a couple of weeks ago, but you know, it's October season. My job is going crazy, and I wanted to just sit back and really just sit down, play some games and stuff like that, take my time. I'm still playing Starfield. Still playing some of my racing games right now. I have played, again, the Crew Motorfest. I have played that for about the 5-hour time trial demo. And I've been playing another racing game that the demo just dropped, which is not a time trial, thank God. You know, so I'm going to be playing that as well. And, you know, going to give my honest feedback. I'm going to be doing a video about that. It's called JDM, or Japan Street Racing, I think it's called. I'm not sure. But anyway, we are here today. I'm live, and we're going to be talking about this particular game. Just to give you a little bit of background, right? I have originally, right? I have originally played the Crew 2, and I tested it out. I drove in the game and stuff like that, the feel for it and stuff. And I think I purchased this about like $10, a $15 pickup on Steam. I said, hey, might as well give it a try. Maybe they changed the mechanics, maybe they changed the driving thing and the handling. And you can see the total amount of playtime that I did on this, which is not that long. That just tell you that the driving mechanics in the Crew 2 was fucking garbage. And also on top of that, the first Crew one was even more garbage. So the Crew Motorfest, going into this, right? I played it and I tried it and going through the settings and stuff like that. So far, I feel like this game is one step forward and then just one step back. I don't think it's on the same level as let me just lower this down a little bit. I don't think it's on the same level as whatchamacallit, as Need for Speed Unbound. I think Unbound, I made a video about that, talking about it, doing it live and driving it around and stuff like that. This one was only on a time base, so I kind of record this already and recorded me playing the game and stuff like that. So you're going to see some cuts and stuff like that. You don't want to see me crash and going back in and out of menus and stuff, because I'm trying to make sure that the game is being tuned right and stuff like that. So, you know, pretty much I'm just showing off like some of the things you could do, the menus and stuff like that. But it's definitely, I definitely will say it's not as bad as Need for Speed Unbound in terms of like driving and mechanic wise, and the feel of it is not as bad as that, but it's still bad enough for me to sit there and saying, thank God I didn't waste my money like on $70 dropping on this fucking game. As much as I'm a racing fanatic and the type of racer that I am not a professional driver racer. I am more of a street racer, mostly going to be doing more tailgate style, racing style, like uphill climbs, downhill climbs. I'm more towards the mountain path than just regular street racing or drag racing. That's not my cup of tea. I find it to be boring, and professional driving on a professional track, I find it to be boring and lackluster. It's just not for me. I'm more towards street racing and racing with others and other people, how they tune their car and what they do with their car. And I'm not like a super Formula One drifting, but I do like to drift in certain parts, and certain ones I do want to just drive and take as much as the corners, you know, and stuff like that, saving time. So right here, you can see me going through the menu system again. I'm turning off anything that's like going to help me, with ABS, traction control. I'm turning all those stuff off, all the assistance off. I appreciate what Ubisoft did in the main menu. Let's talk about that real quick. The main menu and the settings are good. At first, I was hoping to God that I could change my controller settings, and at first I was a little bit scared that it didn't want to let me do my own setup, like my preferred kind of like way of my controller layout, because my layout is going to be a lot different than a lot of y'all layouts. So just letting you guys know, my layout is mostly be the right trigger stick for the controller, the right thumbstick. When you go up, you're shifting down, and then when you go flip it, or flick it down, you're shifting up. That's my setup, because I turn off the camera view on the right stick of my controller. That's what I do. And normally, you have your acceleration, which is your right trigger, your left trigger. My e-brake, it'll be RB, and that's about it. And usually, like anything else, like changing the camera and all that stuff, I use the buttons to change cameras or whatever that I need to do. But mostly my settings will be like that. So you can see it right here. At first, I was a little scared. I was like, hopefully they can let me change it, because I do not like how they have it laid out for me. But thankfully, in that demo, that 5-hour demo, it lets me do that. Thank God. And it worked flawlessly, and I was happy. I was happy that the fact that this is a hell of a lot better than even Need for Speed Unbound. Unbound won't even let you do that, and it's just a mess. I'm not saying this menu or any of the settings is not perfect either. It's still a mess. It's still got this convoluted bullshit. I wish they made it more simplified. Like how, again, when we're talking about Forza Horizon 5, that's like my go-to. They make it very simple, simplistic, going in there, changing certain stuff. It's very easy to do. Ubisoft still haven't learned, because it still got that Ubisoft stench to it, where, yes, they're giving you all this option, but they made it so bloaty in the menu. I wish it was more towards like, it's more streamlined and a lot more organized and a little bit more better. But however, I will say this is a step up definitely from Need for Speed Unbound. It definitely is a step up in terms of menu and stuff like that, and what you can and cannot do. So I appreciate that. What else? And like I said, like it has this. It was good when I tried it. It felt good, but it just, I don't know. It just, I will tell you like this. It's not as bad as, again, Unbound. Like Unbound was god awful. Like when you drive in that shit, it was garbage. The cars felt slow as fuck, and it didn't feel good to drive. It didn't even really just, it just sucks. It just really just takes the fun out of it. Like usually some stock cars be like pretty good, but the stock cars in that game was like terrible to drive, awful controls, and no different from the Crew 2. When I played that, I think I played it for only like an hour and a half, and I had to uninstall it, because it's like, it was still terrible. It was fucking terrible. You couldn't even drift in that game at all. It just felt like it's wanting to like pull you and wanting to do this, and you don't want to do that. You're going to see in this video. You're going to definitely see it in this video. However, that's how I felt the whole thing. Now again, if you was talking about like more towards like racing on the highway in this game, like going around the island and stuff, I think it drives fantastic. It's just the problem is when you're doing like Toge style, like racing, like going uphill, climbing downhill, little drifts here and there, those cars, whatever they had, I don't know what it is, if it's the tuning, if it's this, I tried to change everything, But again, I'm only have like a 5-hour limit. So I don't want to waste all my time in the menu just fucking around. So I try to get the most out of it and the most out of my time. So, but just driving what they have to offer, right, with the cars that's already souped up and shit, it was still garbage. It was straight garbage. The skyline was ass. It was ass. I was like, bro, like, what the fuck did you do to the skyline? Like, the skyline, oh my god, I don't know how can Ubisoft fucks up handling so bad. I just don't understand that. I don't understand how does Ubisoft can fuck up handling in this game, but it does. It does. Let me see if I can skip ahead a little bit. So the overall presentation too, I do not like the presentation at all. Like, I know they trying to do this whole, like, and I know a lot of YouTubers have been saying this. Like, they've been saying, oh, this game is definitely is a lot better than Forza Horizon 5 and blah blah. Like, I'm gonna say this right now. In terms of the environment, I think is great. I think is really really cool. But in terms of the driving mechanic and the way how it feels, it is fucking garbage. I'm gonna just let you know, point blank period. It is fucking garbage. And the presentation to this, when you start this shit off, is a waste of time. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing, Ubisoft? Like, why are you making me do all of this fucking bullshit in the beginning of the fucking game? Nobody cares about this. I do not like this shit at all. It just doesn't. It's like, what the fuck? You know, and even Forza does it too, but at least Forza is not as egregious as this. This is even more egregious. Like, oh god, can you stop this shit? I'm a veteran driver. I don't need a whole introduction of like, look, you could drive on dirt. You could drive off-road. Look, you could drive in a Formula 1 car. You could drive in this. Look, just let me have my fucking car and let me drive the way I want to fucking drive and where I want to go. I don't care about your stupid little fucking city town. I just want to drive a fucking car that I can actually fucking love and drive. I hate off-roading. Off-roading is trash. Okay? I don't like off-roading. The only time I like off-roading is like if we're talking about like the dirt series, like like Dirt Rally, right? Or WRC. Like if we're talking about that type of game, I don't mind that. But, you know, that's cool. But off-roading, like just going off terrain and shit and jumps, like this is nothing amusing me. Like this will never satisfy me or never be like, oh my god. For the new kids, like that's for them, like they probably say, oh look, wow, this is amazing, oh god. Like for me, it's not fun. It's just a waste of time and it's garbage. I don't know why Ubisoft gotta make me do this shit. And let's not well, let me talk about this real quick. But the performance, you can see it for yourself, is fucking horrendous. And I'm playing it only on high settings. You know what I'm saying? High settings on a PC. Not ultra, not extreme. Just regular high settings. And you can see how much, like, hitching it can be and stuff like that, you know? Now, here's another one right here. It's just going into the Formula 1 car thing. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, this is ridiculous. Now, I gotta give credit. The Formula 1, like, it's like some of the driving in certain conditions in this game feels good. The Formula 1 felt pretty damn good. I could sit here and say, oh, I could play something like this. Or some people will like this. Like, it's pretty cool. I can respect that. But in terms of, like, doing anything in terms of, like, drifting or toge racing and stuff like that, if you're one of those camps, you're not gonna have a good time with this fucking game. I'm gonna just tell you that shit right now. It's just not that good, you know? So let's skip ahead a little bit. Again, Ubisoft still throwing me in this fucking bullshit right here. Look, take the tour. Here's the cars in the Motorfest. I don't want to drive in an old-ass car, okay? As much as I like tuning and stuff like that, and tuning and street racing, even the tuning for Japan-style street racing in this game is atrocious. It is like the American version. We don't get the actual, you know, the aesthetic or the roads for that Japanese style of, you know, of street racing. We don't get that here. They just trying to throw in like, look at all the dragons and the balloons and all of this and the temples and stuff to make you feel like you're into Japan. Like, bitch, I'm in Hawaii. Why are you putting like all of this fucking bullshit all up in my face that has nothing to do, like, we're in Hawaii. Like, what the fuck? Japan is not Hawaii, you know, is its own fucking thing. Like, I don't understand that shit. But you'll see it. So right here, you know, right, they got me in this, like, whatever car, whatever, this shit, which is, like, I really don't care about supercars all that much at all. It's never been my thing. Alright. Alright, so skipping up a little bit of ahead. This is me with the controller, and this is how I set myself up. And you can see it right here in my pointer that, you know, I got my gas right here, brakes right here, and I'm shifting gears using the right stick that I have set up. Now, in terms of just racing like this, like if you wanted to go on the highway and you want to go fast and doing all this stuff, I gotta give credit where credit is due. It felt good. Like, it felt good. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was really surprised. I think this was a lot better than the Crew 2. The Crew 2 felt like ass. Like, that shit was terrible. But this, however, you know, is actually really fucking good. It really, really is good. I was thoroughly surprised by it. But in terms of drifting and stuff like that, it's not the best whatsoever. It's just not that good. And again, we're in Hawaii. It sets in Hawaii and stuff, right? Right. And I'm playing this game. You know, the other thing too is there was too many AI cars around. Like, it's way too many AI cars. Like, on the highway, you can see it's almost like completely empty, but when you get into those more city spots or the mountain path, it's like so many AI cars. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, why is there so many? Like, it should not be this fucking many to have. But no, like, it's like a whole fucking bunch. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I don't understand. Like, they need to tone that shit down. Like, on the highway like this, you want to put 1 or 2 cars and stuff like that. I don't have a problem with that. But you can see I'm driving on this stretch of highway, and there's not even a lick of fucking AI car whatsoever. But then it's a whole different story when you go through the mountains and shit. And you can see the map size for this. And it's huge. Don't get me wrong. It's not as huge as, you know, like the Crew 2, right? But it's a decent sized map. You know, I'm driving and then you see shit like that, which, like, they're racing and the car is invisible. They go through you. Thank God they don't crash into you. But even that is a little bit annoying too. It's just too much distraction. I don't know why they don't have it in a different lobby or a different section to do the race and stuff like that without me interfering, like, my open worldness. So this is me just, like, wanting to see how it drifts and stuff like that. You can see that I use the right bumper to use the e-brake and the handbrake and stuff like that. And it's just god awful. It's just so awful. Like, this is like to the point where I'm like, why? Why do they have to fuck it up? And they do. I don't understand. Because again, if this was Forza Horizon 5 right now, this would be nothing. This would be like drifting around the corner, would be like, and then, you know, still got speed momentum, and I keep on going. Cool. But this, it's just not good. It's just not good whatsoever. Like, it's just terrible. It's just terrible. It's just like, I don't understand, like, how hard it is to get these cars into more drifting. But again, if I was to go up a little bit up ahead, right, you know, because this is me just trying to show you, like, it's just, this is how awful it is, but it gets even worse. So, I think, okay, so right here, this part, Let me see if I can put it up ahead a little bit. Okay. So this part right here, right? This is the one of the mountain path, right? Because again, I'm more, you know, toge style. I'm more towards like that. But you can see the same skyline, right? And I just changed the color to yellow. And you can see, like, hitting the brake, it's just, what the fuck, man? It's just like, it wants me to drift, and I'm not trying to drift. I'm just trying to slow down and just turn, just cut in. And then it just makes me want to drift. And I'm not trying to drift. I'm just trying to cut in. And you can see it's just wanting to do that, for, like, wanting me to kick out. Like, it's crazy. Okay, so this is going to be where the end of this. I'm going to try to go as fast as I can going back up. But again, it's just, I just don't understand how hard it is for people or even developers to understand. Like, stop making me want to fucking drift. If I want to drift, I gotta work for it. In Forza Horizon 5, I work for those drifts. I don't just be like, oh, it's easy. I just turn and just brake. No, I have to go step by step to do those things. And in the parts where I don't want to drift, it doesn't make me want to drift, you know? That's why I like about Forza Horizon 5, because it lets me put in the work for it. You know, where I want to drift and where I don't want to drift. In this, however, when I'm trying to go speeding up the hill and stuff like that, it's just awful. Look at this. I don't even want to drift in that little part. I just wanted to slow down. But you see, it just, like, it makes me want to fucking paraglide. I'm like, what are we doing, bro? Oh, God, it's so awful. See, like, that is just like, I don't want to do that. I just wanted to fucking slow down, go in, whatever, accelerate. No, it just makes me want to go drifting. And it's like pulling the car and shit. It's an awful run. My runs will be better than this. It's like it's sliding all over the fucking place. Like, what? It's just, like, it's stupid. Like, you see how it makes me want to, the car is just forcing me to drift around every fucking corner. And I'm turning off, like, traction control, ABS, and all this stuff. It's just awful. It's just, I don't know what the fuck is going on. But it's god awful. Look at this. Can't even go with the group. Hold on, let me see if I can find that little part. Alright. It's just awful. It's like, I'm not trying to do some fucking Tokyo Drift type of style. I'm trying to do Toge style. Look, like, even like this, I know how to slow down. I would have slowed down if the car would have maintained its speed and has, you know, not making me slip all over the place like I'm fucking gliding on ice. I would have just hit that little cut, boom, and kept it going with acceleration. No. Look at this shit. I'm right here, right? Hitting my e-brake, you know, whatever. It just makes my car stop completely. It's just like, what the fuck, man? It's terrible. It's fucking terrible. The driving in this game is terrible for mountain. Like, anything that deals with just regular highway racing and stuff like that, you want to do Formula, that shit drives fantastic. It feels good for those. Not for Toge. Not for Toge, not for uphill time attacks. It's just awful. It's just fucking awful. I don't know what the fuck Ubisoft has done. They just took, like, one step forward and they took a big giant step back. It's like, bro, it's awful. So I tried it in a different one. This is the same fucking deal. Even with, you know, the Beamer, right? The BMW one. I tried it with this one, and it's just still the same fucking story. It drives fantastic, like going like little sharp turns here, little this, little that, whatever. It's great. Anything that deals with hairpin turns or whatever, forget it. It's just awful. Look at this. It makes me want to just go right in there. I didn't mean to drift on that part. I just wanted to cut in. Look at this. Try to go up there, and then it just makes me want to go into the fucking grass and go into the fucking dirt. It's just like, are you... I'm like, who the fuck did this? It's like this car just got no handling whatsoever. Yet it's all souped up. This Beamer is all souped the fuck up. And it got piss poor handling. It can't even handle like little turns or little like whatever. It's awful. But if it's just slightly this, slightly that, it's great. You could drive in that bitch on a highway. But over here on a mountain path, forget it. This shit is awful. Awful. It's God, Ubisoft. Why do you gotta fuck everything up? Thank God I didn't waste the $70 of my fucking time with this shit. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. See, like that right there, that part, I'm not trying to drift. I'm just trying to cut in. I'm just low speeding it, turning, and then just accelerating. I'm not trying to drift. And then it just makes me want to go. It forced me to drift. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? It's a Beamer. It should... Like that. Like, what the fuck? I'm not trying to drift. I'm just trying to go low speed and still, when I get out of that turn, and just go accelerate. I tell you one thing. If it's not Forza Horizon 5, right? Or that studio, Playground Games Studio, it'll be Codemaster. Codemaster can do a better job in terms of the car and the feel of it and the weight of it. They do an excellent job. Codemaster does it. Codemaster needs to be developing this fucking game. Because it needs help. Because this shit was awful. It was so trash. Trust me, it may not look like I'm not doing too bad, but let me tell you, there was just so many like moments where it's like, what the fuck moments. And then the menu system, real quick, the menu system in this shit is awful too. Okay? The menu is garbage. Because it's like a menu within a menu. And I'm like, why is there a menu within a fucking menu? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So right now, I'm going to try out the Audi, right? The Audi has better in terms of like grip and handling. It felt better, but it's not perfect. But it felt good. But it's like, why this car handles pretty damn well, but the Beamer and the fucking Skyline is like ass going down, up and down this fucking mountain path. It just doesn't make any sense. It's like it drives like ass. This one is pretty much okay. Like if you get the hang of it, it drives pretty damn well. But like, my God. So that's where I'm just like, I just like say, you know what? I'm not gonna get this game for $70. It's not even worth my time. It's not even worth it. It's too many problems. You know, you even got performance issues too. I ran across a couple performance issues. You can see it kind of hitching and this and that. It's just, you know what I'm saying? You got and here's the deal. The difference, you can see there's so many cars in this mountain path, But then what? Like earlier, right? We was talking about what? Right about here. This part, there is barely any cars on this fucking highway. You could drive as a free bird and go as fast as you want. But then you fast forward to like what here? There's like this car, that car. You know, there's like more cars in this mountain path than you do even on the highway. Make it make sense for me. This should be the opposite, where these cars that are driving on this mountain path should be less. These cars should be on the highway more than them being on this mountain path. It should be less than this. That's where I just don't understand. It's like, why is there so many? Like, there's a lot. And it's a lot. It's like you could drive on this mountain path and there's a whole bunch of fucking cars, limousines, shit like that. But then, like, again, you go back over here, it is nothing but clear as day. There is nothing, absolutely fucking nothing. It makes no sense. It makes no fucking sense. So, that's where I'm going to conclude it. Like here's some good things. Like the good things is the fact that if you're thinking about playing this game more towards like not street racing, but more towards like, if you're going to do Formula One, you want to race around the highway and stuff like that with your friends, I think you're going to have a blast. But in terms of like, if you are more towards like a street racer, you want to do like toge style, like racing, going up and down the hill and stuff like that, and drifting and stuff like that, and cornering and stuff, you are going to have an awful time. It's not worth your time at all. Like it's terrible. Don't waste your breath. Just don't waste your money or your time. It's awful. It's fucking awful. Like again, if it's not Playground Games, and I gotta say another studio that does better than this shit, I will say is Codemaster. Codemaster does an excellent job in terms of driving mechanics and the feel of the car and the weight of it. And I played Dirt Rally 5, and I have also played Dirt Rally 4, and also I got the 2.0. And trust me, all three of those games feels good. Dirt Rally 2.0, I think, is more towards a steering wheel setup than controller. You can play on the controller, but I will highly recommend Dirt Rally 2.0 to be more towards for like steering wheel setup, like the clutch, got your clutch, your handbrake, and some force feedback. I think that game will be great for that. But for controller, like Dirt Rally 4 and Dirt Rally 5, even though Dirt Rally 5 is a lot more arcadey like than Dirt Rally 4, even that game feels good to drive with all the cars that they have, the off-road, pavement. It felt good. It felt really, really good. And I have played Grid Legends. I will play Grid Legends a lot more than I would play, you know, this kind of garbage, Motorfest. So pretty much that's my final take on it. In terms of like settings in the menu is good, but they need work on that. It's just got that Ubisoft stench, and it's so cumbersome. They need to start learning how to simplify things. Simplify the menus. Simplify it. Make it easy. Stop doing with menu within a menu within this menu. You gotta go. No, like it's awful. Stop, please. I like the options that you give. That's great. Make it simplify. In terms of driving mechanic wise, it's one step forward. It felt good in certain areas, but in terms of like again toge style drifting and stuff like that, it is awful. It is not a good time. This game is going to need a hell of a lot of work. A lot of work. Does this game will outrival Forza Horizon 5 or the upcoming next Forza Horizon game? Does this game is on the same level as that? Absolutely fucking not. Definitely not. Save your fucking money. If I was to tell somebody right now and they say, hey, what's a great racing game to start off with? Even without Forza Horizon 5, I will tell them Grid Legends, or I will tell them Dirt Rally 4, or you can go into Dirt Rally 5. You know, if you want 5, it's more arcadey like. You want somewhat in the middle where it's sim and arcadey, go with Dirt 4. You want more simulation, go with Dirt Rally 2.0. Or you can go with Grid Legends. That's perfectly fine. Anything else besides this fucking game is awful. It's trash. Save your money. Save that $70. It ain't worth my time. Thank God they put out a time trial demo for me to try it and see for myself to see did they make any improvements. Again, they took one step forward and just a big giant fucking step back. And it needs a lot of work. And by the way, like again, when you see in the background with all this balloon shit and all this shit, stop it. It just looks so whack and it's tacky. It doesn't make the game elevates or make it any better. It's just so out of place. They need to focus on more towards on driving mechanics. Fuck the open world aspects of it. Fuck the modes. Make the driving better. That's important. If the driving is not good, people are not going to play it for long term. Without that being said, that's it for me about the Crew Motorfest. Definitely hold on to your money. Definitely go pick up something else. Like again, Dirt Rally, Grid Legends, Grid, anything that dealing with Codemaster games, I give you thumbs up for that. Go pick those up. Those are great racing games still to this day. Forza Horizon 5, any of the Forza Horizon series is great. Okay? Forza Horizon, Forza Horizon 4, Forza Horizon 3, fucking even Forza Horizon 5, or any of those the old Forzas into the new ones are fucking great. Go play those. Those has a lot better handling than anything else. Okay? Definitely stay away from this fucking game. Stay away from the Crew 2. And definitely stay away from Criterion with Need for Speed Unbound and the next Need for Speed game. Those, stay away from that. It's garbage, it is trash, and it's awful driving mechanics. Awful. It's bad. Really bad. But anyway, that's about do it for me. I will be doing some streaming as well in the next couple of weeks. I will be going back, but I'm mostly going to be doing some gameplay streaming and stuff like that on this channel. I'm going to take a break from the salt. I know we had a lot of salt today with the whole ABK deal and stuff like that, but I'm going to save that more towards the end of this year, and we'll do something big and, you know, have some fun, laughing, and all that stuff. I think we should do something like that. But other than that, I will be doing another live stream as well. Probably next week, we will be talking about the other demo game that I've been talking about earlier. That game, I got some thoughts on it and some opinions about it. But I will tell you like this, you know, as far as I'm playing that game right now with that, the driving and stuff like that, that felt so much better than what I'm playing right now. I tell you that shit right now, than the Crew Motorfest. That game felt so much better to drive. Is it perfect? No, it still needs some work. But I can tell you like this, I will much rather play that game over Motorfest. That tells you something. But I will be doing a live stream for that. I will get it set up. So give it some time. I'm still playing around with it. And we'll go from there. But hopefully you guys do enjoy the video. Make sure you like and share and comment and subscribe to this channel. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.